Alrighty, folks, we'll begin the net here in just a couple minutes, so stand by, everybody. Alrighty, sorry for the delay, everyone. Uh, had to get everything set up. I am Kimberly Chase, call sign Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. I use she, her pronouns, and welcome to another live stream. As usual, I will be conducting the Pride Radio Group Net. And with that out of the way, let's get started. As soon as I move this around here. Alright. Oh, where am I? Oh, here we go. Alrighty, folks. Sorry for the slight delay there. I was getting the YouTube live stream all sorted. One moment while I reset. Hello and welcome to the Pride Radio Group Net. I'm Kimberly, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This net is a roundtable for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? Whoa, one moment. I forgot to connect our Aussie repeater. Hang on just a sec, folks. Alrighty, sorry about that, everyone. We are now connected to the VK2 RLT repeater. I'll start the preamble from the beginning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pride Radio GroupNet. I'm Kimberly, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This is a roundtable for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? If there is an emergency at any time, please let us know and we will assist you promptly. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQ plus community and their allies to connect over the airwaves. It is open to all licensed amateur radio operators without the need for membership. We also welcome third-party traffic. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group fosters an inclusive environment for learning, experimenting, and enjoying radio communications. We encourage, promote, and support diversity within the wider radio community. We share our experiences and knowledge, celebrate Pride on the air, and welcome all individuals. To learn more about the Pride Radio Group, join us and gain access to our Discord chat room. Visit prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free, and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you harbor hatred towards us, of course. This net is being relayed on the Pride Radio Network and its affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, D-Star, Zello, Hamshack over a hotline, and... No, sorry, Hamshack Hotline and Hams over IP. Oh my goodness! It is also streamed live on Broadcastify, Icecast, and my YouTube channel, which you can find by searching for my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. For information on how to connect to this network or visit our live streams, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. You can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger for Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. Once again, netlogger.org. NetLogger allows you to log into the net, view call signs in real time, and actively participate. For Android and iPhone users, you may download On-Air NetScraper instead. That is On-Air NetScraper for you Android and iPhone users out there. Now, before we start tonight's net, does anyone have news, announcements, or other items to share with the net and the Pride Radio Group? Alrighty, hearing nothing, let's move on to check-ins for the Pride Radio Group net. We'll begin with mobile stations, those short on time, and those who are in and out. If you fall into any of these categories, please come forward with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Feel free to share your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins for mobile, short on time, and in and out stations. Already hearing nothing, let's take check-ins from anyone, anywhere. If you'd like to join the Pride Radio Group net, please provide your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. You may also share your pronouns if you wish, and we do have Kilo 1 Alpha Lima Foxtrot on standby via NetLogger. So anyone, anywhere, if you'd like to check in, please come now, and we'll get your call signs jotted down, and we'll begin and we'll get this net going.
This is KC3 VAU Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform. BB, she, her pronouns, please.
Okay, got her down. Alright, Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform. We got you. Who else is out there? Alright, who else is out there wanting to check into the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you added to the list. Okay, do we have any additional check-ins out there? Any additional check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, and I am looking for more check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net. Oh my goodness, it's awfully quiet out there. Awfully quiet out there. Okay, we'll try it one more time. Who else is out there wishing to check in to the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you added to the list. Alright, it is awfully quiet at the moment, but we might have additional people check in here in just a bit. I did put the notice out there a bit late, so it'll probably be a while before we hear some people coming in. And I do see that Kilo 1 Alpha Lima Foxtrot is trying to transmit into the network, but for some reason we're having some technical difficulties on the Wires X side. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her real quick to see if we could pick her up. And if not, then we'll do a quick restart of the Wires X bridge. Kilo 1 Alpha Lima Foxtrot, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. This is Kilo Juliet 7,
Kilo
Oscar Mike
Juliet
Oscar,
7, Oscar Mike Oscar, doing a quick
test
test of the YSF bridge.
Seems to be working.
Seems to be working. All right. Looks like the problem is on
wires X.
wires X.
Alrighty, this is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, back to you from the computer. We're going to toss it over to KC3VIU real quick, KJ7OMO. And in the background, I'll see if I can give the Wires X node a good kick.
Hi, Kimberly, and anyone else who's lurking on the net. This is KC3VIU. So I wanted to pose a question, but what I'll do is I'll wait for the net to get rolling a bit more before I do that. Plus, they're also trying to suss out this other individual who's waiting. So this is KC3VIU. This is KC3VIU back to net control KJ7OMO. Thank you.
Okay, KC3VIU, KJ7OMO returning. Okie dokie, no worries. Alright, I'm pretty sure there's some additional folks out there, so if you're wanting to check into the Pride Radio Group Net, please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you checked in. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I'm looking for additional check-ins to the net. Well, darn, it is awfully quiet out there. Awfully quiet out there. Who else is out there wishing to check in? I know there's someone else out there. There's just gotta be somebody else out there. Please come now with your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you checked into the net. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by. Okay, so the hotspot is configured correctly. Okay. Remote gateway's on, so we know that it will talk to the Wires X modem. Okay. Alrighty, nothing at this time. Let's kick it back to Kilo 1 Alpha Lima Foxtrot and see if she can get in. K1ALF KJ7OMO. Go ahead and give your radio another transmit here and see if we can catch you.
This is K1ALF, Brandy. I reset my wires and drivers, so hopefully everything is connected right this time. when it comes to you, if you really will use state on your phone, K1 ALF, back to that.
Okay, K1ALF, KJ7OMO. We heard you that time. I'll toss it back to you, and that's just confirm that you're still making it through. But I did heard you. I also want to check the volume levels on the radio end. Alright. Apparently she's not there. Interesting. Alright, we'll get back with her in a moment, but we did hear her. Kind of, very much on the weak side, though, on the audio, but I'll have to listen to her transmission via a radio to narrow down, narrow down where the issue is coming from. I don't know if it's her microphone volume or if it's a misconfiguration on the network part. So once we get back to Brandy here, I'll listen to her via the radio, and then we'll figure out where the volume issue is at. But for now, we'll toss it over to KC3VIU from KJ7OMO.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, so a quick question, because I actually haven't bothered to research it yet because ADD. But I certainly know that ground planes are very much essential when transmitting. But I was wondering today how useful or necessary they are for reception. And I think the answer is not so much. I mean, I know that given a crystal radio that you need to have your antenna out and to be able to ground one half of the receiver. But as far as having a ground plane, I just don't recall it being as essential when receiving. So I'm kind of curious if anyone has the quick answer. Save me a little bit of time on the net. So this is KC3VIU, back to the net control, KJ7, OMO.
KC3VIU, KJ7OMO returning. From personal experience, back before I, became a licensed ham, I used to be a shortwave listener, and all I did was at one point I, clipped a very long wire to the radio. I didn't have a ground plane, and somehow I was still able to receive signals just fine. In fact, it worked. In fact, that method received the signals a lot better than the telescopic antenna that was built into the radio. So I guess you don't really need a ground plane for a reception? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But I'm pretty sure that somebody else can weigh in on that. And speaking of somebody else, who else is out there? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And you may share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I am looking for more check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net. Alrighty, do we have any additional check-ins? Any additional check-ins at all before we kick it back up to the top? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I'm looking for more check-ins to the net. Hearing nothing, let's kick it back up to K1ALF from KJ7OMO. There's going to be a slight echo for y'all here for a moment.
For K1ALF, I think I heard you say you heard me on the last go round, so that's a step in the right direction, I assume. And I could be talking on the ground plane, but I did not understand enough of what you were saying to know what kind of radio she was talking about or what kind of antenna she was talking about. So I can't offer any advice on that. But hopefully you're hearing me now, so you want to know after that.
There we go. Okie dokie. K1ALF KJ7OMO returning. Yep, I heard you. I heard you. You were sounding clear, but your audio level is way down there. Even on the radio turned up as high as it'll go, you still sounded like your microphone is on the low side. So you may need to adjust your microphone gain on the radio. But other than that, you are making it through, and we could hear you clearly. KC3VIU, KJ7OMO, we'll toss it back over to you.
Yes, this is KC3VIU. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I've done some shortwave listening and whatnot else myself, and yeah, it's always been my observation that you can suspend your antenna above the ground plane, in other words, the Earth, but but having the ground plane is so much more essential when transmitting. It seems like you need that coupling, that connection between your transmitter and the ground. So the Earth, I should say, in this case, earthing it. So yeah, I was just kind of wondering on that. There's I'll save my other question I have for the night until the next round. Hopefully, you can get some more folks on. It's a doozy. I will say that it's one of the questions I've wondered about, and I may have asked it in the past, but we'll see how it goes. At any rate, KC3VIU back to KJ7 OMO.
Okay, KC3VIU, KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, it's fun to try and get your antenna set up and tuned and whatnot for whatever you're trying to listen to or even talk on. It's part of the fun with the ham radio hobby. So you gotta always fiddle with your antennas until you get it to a sweet spot where you don't have to fiddle with it anymore. All right. We're at the bottom of the list, so I would love to hear more voices on the net. So if you're out there and you want to join us, come on out with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. Stop hiding, stop lurking. Just make your presence known. And you're welcome to share your pronouns too if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I am looking for more check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net. darn. Well darn. One more time. Who else is out there wishing to check in to the Pride Radio GroupNet? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you added to the list. Ah, darn. Okay. Well, in case if anybody is not able to check in via voice, you're welcome to check in via NetLogger. You can check in via the YouTube livestream chat. If you're part of the Pride Radio Group Discord server, you can check in via the Skeds channel. If you are on WinLink, you can check in by sending me a message to my call sign on WinLink, and I'll get you checked in that way. If you're on Mastodon or any other service that so happens to connect to the same network that Mastodon is connected to, you can check in via that. My handle for the Fediverse is at KJ7OMO at Mastodon.radio. Again, at Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, at Mastodon.radio. If you can also email me your check-ins. My email is kj7omo at gmail.com. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar at gmail.com. And let's see what else. Of course, my private social media links if you happen to know those specifically. And yeah, if you are a scanner listener or shortwave listener or any other type of radio nerd and you have not got your license yet, well, I highly encourage you to study for your ham radio licenses and get your ham radio license here as soon as possible, because you are missing out if you don't. With that out of the way, we're gonna toss it back over to Kilo 1 Alpha Lima Foxtrot from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Much more to say, and there's not a whole lot in that said, so I'm kind of out of stuff. Everyone, I got it for that.
Oh boy, that audio sounded distorted to my ears. Phoebe, KC3VIU, KJ7OMO, were you able to understand what Brandy was saying?
KC3VIU, no, I listened intently and had the volume up a bit. Unfortunately, it all sounded very distorted. The game was better that time, but the audio was very distorted, so that's my report. Back to net control, KJ7OMO.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Phoebe. It looks like it wasn't just my ears then. Back to K1ALF. Let's see if you made any adjustments, and hopefully you're better. Back over to you, K1ALF, KJ7OMO.
So I have not, other than restarting a little while ago, that is the first of the net, I have not made any adjustment, because there are no adjustments I can make on this radio. I'm on a 2-meter, 70-millimeter frequency, and talking into my repeater, and the repeater is going out through wires. So there are no adjustments on my radio that I'm talking on that I can make. I don't know why things are changing for those out there listening, but if they're changing for the better, I'm happy. Because what? AOL, back to that. So,
Alright, K1ALF, KJ7OMO returning. Alright, well, I've only caught maybe a quarter of that. So, okay, so you did not make any adjustments to your FT8900, and that's pretty much all I was able to get. Everything else sounded very garbled. Not garbled, but distorted and low volume. Uh, Oh boy. Do you happen to have another radio you can transmit on? That might help. We'll get back with you shortly, but for right now, we'll toss it back to KC3VIU, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, okay, so, we'll give some time for, Brandy to make some adjustments. But, so, my big question that I've been wrangling with for a couple of years now, because it just really doesn't make any sense to me, is how in the world do car radios tune in AM without having the directionality that you would have like in a hand, a pocket receiver, a desk, like any other AM radio? You have the antenna that is usually built in. Sometimes they're external, they're loops or something like that, but they're very, very seriously directional. And that's one of the big things about AM. I mean, when I do a lot of DXing, I can, tune out other stations by simply adjusting the vector, the direction from my receiver to the transmitter, and improve radio reception that way, of course. And you can use it as a bit of, directional filter, if you will. But as for car radios, there's no directionality to them. And that really just blows my mind. I'm going to pause here for a sec. Because the antennas aren't set up, to be directional. You can't have a coil that deep inside an automobile, have it still function. You have a wire that leads down from the outside. But I've also done a lot of testing on the new digital radios, and of course I noticed they don't even have inductors inside them. Like if I take a transistor radio from the 70s, 80s or something like that. I even have a Sony from the 90s. But there's the ferrite inductor coil and whatnot else inside there. And that is part of the antenna, and it's very directional. And but I've never seen one of those inside a car radio, and I've torn a few apart, and it's just sort of like, okay. Yeah, and just one of those things that really, really kind of blows my mind. Anyway, KG3VIU, back to net control, KG7, OMO.
KC3VIU from KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. The only thing I can think of is that car radios nowadays, they don't even have an internal coil in them for an antenna. So the same antenna that receives the FM broadcast will also have to work for AM broadcast as well. And since those antennas on the cars are usually tuned for FM, They'll still work for AM, but only, local stations that are nearby or relatively nearby. So if you want to do AM DXing with directionality on your car radio, then you'll have to hook one of those directional antennas up on it and just turn that around, and it'll work just fine for AM DXing. I mean, these car radios, they do have some pretty darn good receivers on them. They can definitely pick up faraway stations with ease if you have the right antenna plugged into them. Then they work fantastic for DXing from my personal experience. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list, so do we have any additional stations out there wishing to check into the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I'm looking for more check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net. Alright, do we have any additional check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you added to the list. Well, it looks like it's just gonna be the three of us for the time being. We'll toss it back to K1ALF. Hopefully she has resolved her issue. She did say that she would grab her handheld for the next transmit, so we'll see what she sounds like now. K1ALF KJ7OMO. Go ahead and take it away.
I am now transmitting from Southane UV5R. It's just a little LP2 camera that I use with the search and rescue team, or the canine search and rescue team that I volunteer with for FoodCon. And I'm submitting in through the repeater and through wires that way, so let me know if this sounds any better. K1ALF, back to that.
K1ALF KJ7OMO returning. Well, you're certainly sounding clearer. I mean, I understood every word, but the audio volume is still quite low. You know what? I think I might know the answer to that. You'll have to adjust the levels on the Wires X software. There's a section on the Wires X software that'll let you adjust your levels. I'll have to open up my copy of the Wires X software here after the net and mess around with it, and then I'll show you how to adjust it through the Wires X end, because I remember probably a year or so back, I was fiddling around with the levels on Wires X, and I forgot how to do it at the moment, but I'll refresh my memory and then we'll get back with you on that. But at least I could hear you much clearer, so that's good news. All right, KC3VIU KJ7OMO, back to you.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, I love to DX with car radio. Some of them are, you can get some home receivers and stuff that are more sensitive because you can add to the antenna. But I've often, through perhaps just good graces or the vehicles I'm driving, mostly Volkswagens, have really good radios in them. But I do a lot of DXing from the car, even while moving. Of course, the pity of this is like AM DXing and whatnot else is that there's just nothing on like it once used to be. Now, I'm coming from the standpoint of, yes, I definitely am into the old-time radio programs, Jack Benny, The Shadow, the Boston Blackie, all the different detective shows and whatnot. Love that stuff. But I realize that's fully well before my time and not necessarily part of it, part of what makes me nostalgic for AM or such things. And that was a lot, what made me nostalgic for that was a lot of the stations I would pick up in the Pittsburgh area and how local and fun everything was. And there are just increasingly fewer and fewer local stations in this world that are not, so hyper-affiliated that they don't really control their own radio stations anymore. So, yeah. At any rate, I seem to be fading a bit. Not audio, but in brain. I'm not gonna let go, but I'm just giving you warning that if you call me and I'm not here, I may have zonked out. But I hope to stay with you. So this is KC3VIU, back to KJ7 LMO net control.
Alrighty, KC3VAU, KJ7LMO, not a problem. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list again, and I would love to hear some more voices here on the net. We usually get a lot more stations than this, but tonight is a very slow night for us. Very slow. So hopefully we'll get some more traffic in. So if you'd like to join the Pride Radio Group Net, all I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I am looking for additional check-ins to the net. Alright, it doesn't look like there's anybody else out there, but we'll give it one more shot. Who else is out there? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you added to the net. Oh, darn. Alright, nobody else out there at this time. Okay, so K1ALF KJ7OMO. By the way, I found the option to adjust the audio on Wires X. On the Wires X software, you go up to the top of the screen. You click on the View option, and then you'll see the audio adjustment option right there, and then you just fiddle around with that until everything is good. Back over to you, K1ALF KJ7OMO.
And after this round, I'll send it home. When I get done eating supper, I'll go out there and try that, the computer running wires access where it can be used directly to the repeater. I'll have instant access to it, but I'll try that here in a minute. K1, AOL, back to this.
Alrighty, not a problem. Yeah, we'll get you all sorted. Not to worry. I mean, we'll make sure that everybody will be able to hear you loud and proud. At least that's the goal, anyway. Once we're done helping you get that node sorted. I mean, we want to hear you loud and proud, as the CBers would say. All right, KC3VIU, KJ7OML, back to you. If I can stop transmitting that disk. Oh, here we go.
KC3VIU. Yeah, once you start transmitting, you never seem to be able to stop. Hi. Um, I had an opportunity to use my HT today. I was participating with a group. We have a clothing closet at the nearby church where they operate as part of a local social services group, but independent of like most normal constraints that would otherwise make it difficult. But they get in clothing donations, and we have racks and stuff in there for it, and people can come in and shop entirely for free, and it's a whole bunch of fun. But in order to kind of coordinate, because we started out with the back half of one room and maybe 12 by 12, something like that, maybe 12 by 15 foot space. We've now taken up to like 15 by 30 in one room, another 12 by 30 in another room. We've got corridors. We've got all kinds of clothing stuff. At any rate, so it's quite a distance between everybody, and so they have got all their FRS radios, and I simply took my HT and programmed it with the other frequencies I need. So yeah, got a chance to use that a little bit today, and but yeah, once you start transmitting, you don't seem to be able to stop. You get the radio bug, and it doesn't want to let go. So, and frankly, I find that to be a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it back, KC3VIU, back to KJ7OMO.
Ham radio. Once you transmit, you can't stop. Oh my goodness. Yeah, radio is so much fun. I just love radio, and anything that transmits and receives, it's right up my alley. And yeah, I do find it difficult to not have a radio around me. So yeah, ham radio, it's an addiction. All right, let's see if we can get some more people addicted into transmitting onto the radios by checking into this net. If you haven't checked in already, please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And you can share your pronouns too if you like. And we'll get you added to the list, and you can join the conversation and all that stuff. So yeah, please come now if you'd like to be checked into the Pride Radio Group net. Sheesh, I made a perfect segue, and Nobody took it. All right, one more time. Who else is out there wishing to check into the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. We'll get you checked into the net. Yeah, usually we get about 5 or 6 people, sometimes up to around 10 people, with a record of I think 16 or 17 people at one time. But yeah, this is an awfully slow night. Awfully slow night. Well, hopefully next net we'll get our traffic back. I mean, I did have to take a break after all, so usually happens where if I take a break, for one net or two, and then I start doing it again, well, yeah, then the traffic becomes absolutely nothing. So, yeah, hopefully by next net we'll get our normal traffic back. K1ALF KJ7LMO, we'll toss it right back over to you.
Well, I can say this will be my final. I've got another net that I need to jump on here in about 3 minutes. Will you be around during the day tomorrow play with the volume settings and have somebody let me know how I'm sounding when they are off?
Alrighty, K1ALF KJ7LML returning. Yeah, no problem. I can be around, to help you fix it, and if need be, if you're set up with the ability to let others remote control your computer, I could also help you. I can also remote into your system and make adjustments for you too, if you're comfortable with that. So that's another option that you can take. But either way, I could either try my best to guide you into doing it, or I could, do it for you. Either way works. But yeah, I'll definitely, regardless, I'll definitely be around to, help you fix it. Back to you for any final comments, and then we'll carry on from there.
Roger, and I would prefer to just be taught through it because I would like to learn how to do it.
Alrighty, not a problem. Alright, not a problem. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and let you get to your net because I know it's about 1 minute to start. I'll throw my 7-3s to you, and we'll catch you next time. K1ALF KJ7LMO. We'll let you sign off with your ID, and then we'll carry on. Alrighty, KC3VIU, KJ7LMO, we'll toss it over to you. KC3VIU, KC3VIU, KJ7LMO. Alrighty. Looks like Phoebe has dozed off and fallen asleep on us. Alrighty, folks. Unless we get more check-ins, we're gonna go ahead and shut the net down. So, do we have any additional check-ins out there for the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and we'll get you added to the list. Alrighty, do we have any additional check-ins? Any check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Alright, do we have any final comments from previously checked-in stations? Any final comments from previously checked-in stations? Alrighty, everyone. That concludes our net for today. Thank you all for participating and bringing fun to the airwaves. I would like to express gratitude to the Waverly Amateur Radio Society in Sydney for allowing us to connect to their repeaters so that Sydney can have coverage. And special thanks to VK3JED and VK2WAY for their contributions, as well as the entire Pride Radio Group for making this net possible. I now return all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to the regular amateur use. Thank you once again, and 7-3 to everyone from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. This net is now closed with 1, 2, 3 check-ins, including yours truly. Alrighty, I'm out of here. See y'all next time. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar is now clear. Alrighty, YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream right here. If you haven't done so already, feel free to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and we'll see you on the next one. 7-3 to everybody from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.